Hey, today I'm going to show you how to hook up this Tonewood Amp 2 to a looper pedal. It's the same connection that you'll use to hook up the Tonewood Amp Solo, the original Tonewood amp. The results differ a little bit because of the different controls you get with the two. I'm going to show you how to set it up. I'm going to listen to how it sounds, and then we're going to hook it up through an amplifier and compare that as well. So stick with us. We're going to have some fun messing with some music. Take a look at what it takes to set up a Tonewood amp, either of the two Tonewood amps, either the Tonewood Solo or the Tonewood Amp 2, which is what I'm testing on right now. In doing this, I've actually made many different cuts of this because I've tried several different approaches and had various results. What we're looking at today, take a look at the diagram. On this diagram, it's really clear. We're coming out of the guitar itself and going directly into the input on the looper. We're taking the output from the looper and going in directly into the input into the Tonewood amp. Okay, instead of the normal setup where your guitar output is going directly into your input, I'm going through the looper. Makes sense, right? It's a simple way to do it. The limitation of this approach is that we're restricted to a single support of a single effect layer, because no effect is being sent to the looper, and the effects only occur and go into the guitar from the output from the looper. So we can get the guitar output back into the Tonewood amp, but only at a single layer. What I mean by that is, if you were to use a Y connector and connect both the guitar output and the output from the looper into the input here, and then take the output from the looper and feed that in as the input to the looper, you would get a separate effect on every loop dub that you do. All right, I've tried that. I get a lot of feedback, I get a lot of noise. Maybe there's a configuration that would work. I played around with this all week long and could not get anything to work when doing that straight through the guitar body. Okay, so what we're going to hear today, recorded through this AKG mic that's sitting in front of the guitar, is the real sound that's coming out of the guitar, and how it loops. All right, so simple as that. We will be able to build loop layers of different effects if we play through the amp, and we'll try that after we do this. But let's first see what this sounds like. Using a Horse with No Name. Now we can play around with the settings. Right now I've got delay set to 31, reverb to 50. I don't have chorus turned on. If I turn chorus on, let's see what happens. It's not a pleasant effect to add to it. Turn that back off. Turn the reverb up a bit. Turn up the delay. What if I want to add that on the loop? Okay, so simple looping works. Just to illustrate for you, I'm gonna make the quick change that I just talked about. I'm gonna take the output. We're gonna go. Take the output. There we go. That's right. Oh, no. Okay. So let's try that again. Now that we've got this set up correctly, let's see what we can do. Oh, we're missing one thing. All right, the input. All right, this is where things go wrong, okay? When I put this input in here, this is where it goes crazy. Okay, so you see why we're not doing it that way, right? Okay, well, let's move on. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna set this up to go through the amp. And that's a different approach. Let's take a look at the diagram for going through the amp. Now, in this case, we're going to take the output. We're going to take the output. This time, we're going to take the output from the guitar, put it into the input in the Tonewood amp. And then the output is going to go to the looper. Okay. And then the output from the looper So I had a bit of an interesting time trying to get the output to work on the Tonewood amps, both the Tonewood Solo and the Tonewood Amp 2. I did figure it out eventually, so I'll share what I've learned. So when I put in this output, and I go to the first button on the top, it takes me to the DI out, where you can see the DI levels, the DI blend, the DI boost I've turned off. It seems to really rattle the guitar when I have that on. I wasn't getting anything until I applied the low cut filter. If the low cut filter was if I moved the low cut filter off or to zero, it won't do it now. But when I first turned it on, it was zero. And until I added something to the low cut filter, I got nothing. The other thing was I added to these the equalizer levels on low, medium, and high. I just put a minimal amount in there, and that also helped. You got the levels and the boost, compression on, low cut 20, phase is set to 0. I've tried phase both ways, 0 and 180, and it doesn't seem to make a difference. But until I put that low cut filter on, I was dead in the water, okay? So just sharing that with you. Now let's hear what it sounds like. Is gonna go to this amp over here. I'm gonna plug it into the back. Turn the amp on. Swing this microphone in front of the speaker. And we're going to give that a try. Okay. do, I'm gonna take a different setup. I'm gonna go to effects memory, and I'm gonna load an effect. It's a different effect. So this will have a different sound to it. Okay, so that's a different sound than the sound that I laid down as the original track. Let's see how this is going to work. Okay, there you have it. So much better to be able to lay different sounds down on different dubs on that loop, right? And the only way you can do it is if you feed this back into the guitar. I've run into trouble getting it to work on the guitar itself, but in any case, we got it working. You know, the Tonewood amp can be looped and can very successfully be looped. And if you really want to enjoy the effects the best, you want to loop it out to an amp. So that's Mike messing with music. Stick with me. We're going to mess with some more music. The next one up is going to be doing this with the High Vibe. The High Vibe has a very nice looper built in, but very limited. So I'm going to do the High Vibe using the Sheeran Looper Plus and see what we can do with a fancy looper and a High Vibe guitar. So stick with us, subscribe, like, and we'll see you on the next video.